It honestly wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. And that's genuine. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I was really dreading it going in, especially my experiences of an endoscopy. I'd watched some vlogs on YouTube the night before. The whole procedure only lasted about 5-10 minutes. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't traumatic. It was just generally uncomfortable. So I hope that reassures your mind a little bit. Hi guys, how's it going? Hope you're all well. I've been a bit busy, so it's been a while since I've done a YouTube video, but here I am, again, talking about my hiatus hernia fun. Ha ha ha. Today on the agenda is I'm having tomorrow a Oesophageal Manometry. I'm 90% sure that I'm not saying that right, but Oesophageal Manometry and a 24-hour pH and impedance test. Not fully sure what this entails, but I'm going to go through what I think is going to happen tomorrow, and I'm going to sort of blog my experience of it and talk about how it all goes. So I'm having it done because I went to meet with someone a few months ago about my hiatus hernia, and I was just talking about my options. And he said, before I even think about what kind of surgery that I could have, I have to have this test anyway. So why don't you see first if you're eligible to have the test by having this test that I'm having tomorrow, for surgery, sorry. So if I have this test tomorrow and it comes back I can have surgery, then I can debate the options. But if not, then there's no point of even thinking about it. I'm not sure what it's measuring exactly, but I'll go through what I think I know, and then I'll vlog my trip to my experience, just in case you're having this, because I'm also having it tomorrow and I'm like, what is this? What am I going to do? So my appointment's at 10 tomorrow at the Functional Gut Clinic in Deansgate in Manchester. I've got to stop taking my medication, which I've done for 7 days before my test, which is tomorrow. So I've not been taking my omeprazole for a week. Not gonna lie, it's been very hard. It's been really, really hard for the last week. Everything's come back. All my symptoms have come back, which has made me grateful that these tablets exist in the world, because this hiatus hernia would suck if I was not on these tablets. And it brought back a lot of memories to how it used to feel to eat and to breathe and to feel in my own body. So it's been really nice. It will be really nice to not be missing these tablets. So from, I think, 24 hours after, I think I can then take the tablets, because there's two parts to this test. The first one, the Oesophageal Manometry. I don't fully know what that means, but apparently what's going to happen is there's going to be a test of the function. I'm reading it off the letter at the same time because that's all I know. So it's going to measure the function of my esophagus, or food pipe, and it tells us how the muscles in my esophagus are working. When they're working normally, these muscles move food and liquids from the mouth into the stomach. Great. So I think the test is going to involve a thin tube called a catheter, 2 to 3 millimeters diameter, up my nose, so not as invasive as an endoscopy, which I've spoke about before, which you might have seen on my channel already. And it's going to go down my nose, the back of my throat, into my esophagus and into my stomach. So I'm not sedated or anything for this, because I'm assuming it's not as traumatic as, you know, the endoscopy, because it's thinner, just 2 to 3 millimeters. Well, I hope it's thinner, please. It'll be removed, and then a thin flexible pH tube will then be inserted, and this tube, this is the bit that I don't quite understand, will be attached to my a recording device. I don't quite understand what that'll mean. Like, how will I sleep and stuff with that? That I'll take home and wear for 24 hours, and that will measure any acidic or non-acidic reflux you get over the course of a normal day, and how these levels of reflux relate to my symptoms. There's no serious frequently occurring risk with these tests. Minor risks include a sore throat, and in rare cases, a nosebleed. Very rarely, during insertion, the tube may enter your voice box, your larynx, and cause you to cough. When this happens, it's recognised quickly, and the tube will be gently moved back a few centimetres. And if you carefully listen to the instructions and swallow, this does not happen. Sounds a bit like the onus is on me for this to go right. The test lasts 45 to 60 minutes. Okay, quite a long time. Before the appointment for 7 days, as I said, I've not been able to take any of my tablets, so any PPIs are just off the table. Yeah, but I've not taken any of them. I was just checking them. I was like, oh my God, imagine if I have. The day before, so today, you should not take any acid. So I have been taking Gaviscon this week because my acid reflux has just been out of control, like to the point where I just can't even concentrate on anything. So I've had to just take Gaviscon, and I've been uber aware of what I'm eating, and not gonna lie, I've been sort of missing meals just because I've been like, I can't eat right now. It's just gross. And then the day of the test, so it's 9 at night now, so I'm probably gonna maybe not eat soon. I'm gonna have a milkshake because weirdly milk seems to help, and milk's probably the sugar and chocolate isn't. But I'm just really craving a milkshake right now, so that's what I'm gonna have. I've ordered a bougie one from Deliveroo, but I'm not supposed to eat or drink anything on the day of the test. It's at 10 in the morning, so probably from maybe tonight. I should have small sips of water up until the test starts. I can take my essential medicine. If you're diabetic, there's a section on that. And I can brush my teeth, but be careful not to swallow only toothpaste, so that's quite intense. No toothpaste can be swallowed. You have to make sure that none of that is going down. So that's what's happening tomorrow. Apparently I can bring someone in with me where I'm going. It's gonna take 45 to 50 minutes. It's sort of like a explanation of what's going to happen. So my nostril and throat will be numbed with an anaesthetic spray while I sit upright. A thin catheter will be passed through my nostril, and as it reaches the back of my throat, I'll be asked to tuck my chin to my chest and take sips and swallow water to help guide the tube in your esophagus. So a lot of this sounds like it's guided by you, which I don't know if it's reassuring or if it's more scary. I don't know if I'd rather someone's just like, you know, with an endoscopy, there's nothing, you just swallow at the start and it's just like, go. Well, I was sedated for the other times as well. As horrific as it is, I'm hoping it's nothing like an endoscopy because I feel quite chill about it. So if I'm feeling chill about it, then that's good, but I don't want to get in there and it's like, this is, So yeah, I'm hoping that it's going to be okay. I've just watched a video by favourite daughter Emily, shout out on YouTube, which sort of helped me a little bit, you know. I've read some of the comments and some people have said it was pretty bad, so hopefully it's not. But anyway, I'll do the video tomorrow, let you know how it goes, and hopefully it's not that bad as we think it's going to be, and all is well. See you on the other side. Hi, how's it going? So, it's about 6 hours since I had my procedure, and I've got this lovely wire thing in my nose. So there's so firstly the first part of the test, which is the initial test to see how my esophagus is working. The nurses were really lovely. They were so lovely. Well, I don't think they were nurses. I think it was a nurse and an operation person doing the procedural person, a specialist, I don't know the word. So friendly, both really lovely. I asked loads of questions because if you might have remembered my video on endoscopies, you might remember that I always said, please make sure that you ask loads and loads and loads of questions. I asked, what happens if I sneeze? Because I was like, what happens if I sneeze as it goes down? The answer was, you can sneeze fine, as I've noticed. Can I speak? I could speak through the entire thing. I've got bad hay fever, so I was like, will it affect my sinuses? They were like, no. There was something about vocal damage on the thing, so I'm a vocalist, and I've got some issues with my vocal cords at the moment that I'm sort of investigating. They've just been a bit inflamed and raspy for a few weeks. And they said they shouldn't affect that, and if it does, they'll be aware of it during the procedure. So that was great. So yeah, I went in for the procedure. The first part, not gonna lie, it's not nice. The worst part is them putting it up, and I got the spray. I would just say get the spray immediately, because I was immediately like, why would I even question this? Of course I'm going to get the spray. I don't know if it's just me, but it hurts a little bit to talk at the moment. I'm feeling like a raspiness in my throat. I'm not sure if that's normal. I might actually call the clinic about that, because they did say call if you have any questions. The first bit's not nice. It goes straight up your nose, almost like you're getting a COVID swab up your nose, but then it just keeps going and then goes all the way down into your stomach, and you have to put your chin down, and then I had to eat a biscuit, drink some water, lie down, and it was only about 10 minutes though. I don't know if I've heard more horror stories about it being worse, and I was also told that mine was a paediatric one, so the one that this particular place uses, they use on children. So she was like, it's a bit nicer than the one that some of the other places have got, so if you've got one that's maybe a bit more intense, then then yeah, maybe watch another video. But it's still uncomfortable. There was worse things, you know. I didn't gag. I had no gagging. I don't know if that was due to the banana spray. I wasn't sick or anything like that, or didn't feel sick. It was just generally uncomfortable. There was no pain, just a general feeling of being uncomfortable. But it was bearable for the 10 minutes. It wasn't completely horrific. The worst thing was putting it in. My eyes were just flooded with the tears. But I think that's just the natural reaction for anything remotely invasive. I've now got this for 24 hours. I've eaten some ice cream because that's all that I had in, and I'm gonna eat some more food. And it's basically, I've got this machine device where I press different buttons for if I'm feeling different things. So if I'm lay down, I press a button. If I've got heartburn, I press a button. Gas, press a button. Loads of different things. I haven't really had any symptoms yet, but because all I've had is that ice cream, which was actually really nice. It was some Ben & Jerry's ice cream. I was like, I'm gonna treat myself after this procedure today. I'm trying to just like take my mind off it because it's uncomfortable more than anything. And the more I take my mind off it, the more I'm like, okay, there's only this many hours to go. Not sure how I'm going to feel about sleeping tonight, to be honest. But I'm currently on my way to the cinema because I just thought, what a perfect thing to do, to just hopefully take my mind off it completely, get some food beforehand, and then go to the movies. Yeah, I'll do a final sort of update after the 24 hours, just talking about how it feels. I've got to take it out myself, which I thought was quite unusual, and then take the thing to the place. I can get them to take it out if I'm really dubious about it. I'm kind of not looking forward to taking it out myself. I mean, I'm looking forward for it to be gone, but the physical action of me pulling it out myself, it's weird. It's almost as though it's in my throat. I don't want to look. I don't want to see it. But it's weird. Feels like it's more on this side of my throat than this side, which is interesting. Oh well, it's down that nostril, so that makes sense, doesn't it? I've got huge tonsils as well, so I don't know if that's affecting it. I don't know, to be honest. I'm not a medical professional, but I can just tell you how it felt, and I feel good that the tests have been done. It's not comfortable for 24 hours. I was going to try and do some work, but I just was like, I'm just going to have a pleasure day, because otherwise it's just going to be utter crap for 24 hours. It's a long time, 24 hours, to have this thing up your nose. My best description of it is when you put your COVID swab just a bit too high up your nose and you get that little uncomfortable feeling, but it's just constantly there. And it feels like you've got, she described it, the nurses, you'll feel like, think of it as though you've got like a bad cold and you've got like a painful throat and nose, and that's kind of how it feels at the moment. But yeah, I'll keep you posted. But it honestly wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, and that's genuine. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I was really dreading it going in, especially my experiences of an endoscopy. I'd watched some vlogs on YouTube the night before. The whole procedure only lasted about 5-10 minutes. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't traumatic. It was just generally uncomfortable. So I hope that reassures your mind a little bit watching this video. I feel like this 24 hours is worse than the actual thing as well, because it was out and it was gone. Because this is like a lingering uncomfortableness, even though it's a slightly smaller tube, it's still 24 hours of this and not 10 minutes. My advice is get the spray. 1, 2, ask questions. 3, I would say follow the instructions. Don't eat anything before, stop your medication. And then, yeah, distract yourself for the 24 hours. Don't panic, I would say. Just obviously everyone's going to panic because it's uncomfortable feeling, but it's as soon as it's in there, the feeling of it being in there is sort of gone. So it's just the initial like, whoa, like this is going in. But just, yeah, that's my general advice. But it's sucky, but it's not endoscopy unbearable where I need to be sedated. It's not that. It's bearable. It's not as invasive. It doesn't feel as invasive as that. It's invasive, but it's not as invasive that I would need sedation, I don't think. But yeah, I'll do a final update when this is gone after the 24 hours, and hopefully I sleep. So it's been about 6 hours since I got it taken out. She said I could have taken the wire out by myself, But I decided to not do that because I couldn't imagine anything worse. So I got there bang on time, went inside and she took it out for me, which was really nice. Not sure when I'll get my results, so maybe I'll do a future episode of that. If you're wondering also what is happening with my Iqoro video, that is coming. I will explain in another video why it's delayed, but there's a reason. And you can now get it on the NHS. I'm going to do a video about that also. Anyway, yeah, I got it taken out. It wasn't as bad, the whole thing, as I thought it was. It wasn't nice. I still sort of have a feeling like it's still a little bit there. I think because my body was a bit like, okay, you've got this foreign body up your nose and down your throat. Because I had this feeling when I swallowed water, it just felt really like I could feel the tube. Of course, you can feel it. It's unusual in your body. I've already given some tips, but I think final tips are breathe. I'm not sure if I've said breathe, but just breathing through it and talking through it and realising that through the procedure you can talk, you can breathe, you're completely fine, you're safe. Hopefully the nurses and the staff are nice. But yeah, overall it wasn't that bad and it's worth it to get the results. Nowhere near an endoscopy in my opinion. Different realm of trauma. Yeah. I hope this video has brought you comfort. If you have any questions or anything, as always, I'm happy to answer anything, so please just pop it in the comments below. Subscribe. I'm really close to getting my monetization, so subscribe and watch all my videos, please. I also put on my acting show reel earlier today, so if you want to check that out. I did a little tweaking to that, a little shameless self-promotion, and follow me on the socials if you want as well. Let's connect. John JJST. Thank you for watching. I hope this has helped you in some way, and keep in touch. Bye.